Hello everyone, welcome to all. Welcome in Jagran Public School Noida. This is our new chapter that is gravitation in physics and this is part 1. So now we are going to start the gravitation chapter. First we will start what is gravitation. So gravitation is nothing is an attractive force between any two object, means when the earth attracts everything towards it by an unseen force of attraction, this force of attraction is known as gravitation or gravitational pull. Means the sun attracts all the planets, the earth attracts the moon, the everything which is revolving around the sun and the moon which is revolving around the sun around the earth is due to the gravitational force of attraction. It is a long distance force. It is the weakest force which can be applied when the object is much higher distance with each other, or it can be present even if between the two object, like your pencil box, like your copy, between you and your chair, between any two object, either it is living or non-living. So the force of attraction between any two object exists, which helps to keep the objects in its position is called gravitational force of attraction. Every plants, between plants and animal, between mountains and river, between anything which is having mass have a gravitational force of attraction between the two object or between the earth and the moon or the planet and the sun. So do you mean by universal law of gravitation? According to the universal law of gravitation, every object in the universe attract other object by a force of attraction is called gravitation, and which is directly proportional to the product of masses of the object and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So according to the universal law of gravitation, if there are two objects of mass m and small m, capital M and small m, having m1 or m2, you can take anything, and if they are separated by some distance, so according to the universal law of gravitation, force, that is force of attraction, is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. This is called the law of gravitation or the universal law of gravitation. For example, these are two masses. One is capital M and other is small m. Or one is having m1 or m2, different masses or similar masses, you can take anything. And if the distance between them, distance we will always take from the center of the mass, we consider at the center of the mass. If we are taking the earth, we will take the distance from the center of the earth to the center of the moon. That is called it is always measured from the center. So if m1 and m are the two objects separated by a d distance, distance can be anything, then force, that is force of gravitation, is equals to g m into m upon d square. Now come to the derivation of this. So according to the derivation here, force is equals to m1 and m, force is directly proportional to the product of the masses. Here force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. When the anything which is comes in denominator is inversely proportional to, the force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Now combine both these equation, what we will get, that force is directly proportional to m1 m2 upon d square. Now if this m1 m2 upon d square, you will remove the proportionality sign, so you have to put some constant, that is g, capital G is a constant, and this G is a constant, is known as gravitational constant. So it has been discovered that G, capital G, is a gravitational constant, and its value is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11, and the unit is Newton meter square per kg square. We will get the unit, put the UN at place of F. M1 and M2 is kg square divided by meter square. You will get the unit of capital G. So capital G is a universal gravitational constant, and its value is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. You have to learn the value as it is. You have to learn this. So G is the universal constant, and this constant applies with all the object between sun, the distance between the sun and the planets, all the planets, the distance between the earth and the moon, even if the distance between the two things which is placed in your table, between two of your friends, between table and the chair, anything. So this is the gravitational constants which is applied on everything. So now just move further. Importance of the universal law of gravitation, why it is important. So the importance of the universal law of constant gravitation is it binds us to the earth, means we are on the earth because of this gravitational force. It is responsible for the motion of the moon around the earth. If the moon is revolving around the earth, it is due to this gravitational force which keep the moon on its orbit. See, if the moon is revolving around the earth, there is a one force which is acting at the center of the moon towards the center of the earth is called centripetal force. Centripetal force keep the moon revolving around the earth and keep the moon on its orbit. So it is responsible for the motion of the planet around the sun. Again, it is a force, gravitational force, which keep all the planet on its orbit around the sun. Gravitational force of attraction of the moon cause tides in a sea. There is a gravitational force which is present in the moon, which pulls the surface of the earth, but the earth is much bigger than the moon, so only water of the earth can be pulled up, and this that form are tides in a sea. So all these gravitational help us to be at place in the on the earth. It is responsible for all the planet to move around the sun on, in its orbits. Gravitational force also causes tides in a sea. So there are two or three questions are there, or some reasoning is there. If the moon attract the earth, then the earth, if the moon attract the earth, then why does the earth not move towards the moon? Or if the earth attracts the moon, why not the moon fall on the earth if there is a gravitational pull? So because both object have its own gravitational pull, earth is bigger in size, so earth has more massive and have a strong gravitational pull as compared to the moon. But as the moon is also revolving around the earth, and there is a centripetal force between the moon and the earth, it keeps the moon on its orbit, and both the forces, means the forward force which keep the moon revolves around the earth, and the center force of attraction between the earth and the moon are balanced with each other and keep the moon on its orbit. Or we can say earth is 81 times more massive than moon, and the distance between the two is 385,000 kilometer, center to center. We always take the distance from center. So according to Newton's third law of motion, if the earth exert a force on the moon must exert an equal and opposite force on the earth, because every action there is equal and opposite reaction. But that does not mean that the effect of those forces are the same. You have learned in the Newton's third law, if the gun, if the bullet is fired from the gun, the effect of the force on the bullet and simultaneously the gun recoil, but the effect of both the forces are not similar. Forces are equal, magnitudes are equal, but its effect is different. Means bullet can pierce a window or pierce an object, but the gun which is recoil will not pierce an object or can pierce anything. So the similar way, the earth exert a force on the moon, and the moon exert the same force on the earth, but that doesn't mean that effect of those forces should be the same, because the masses of the two objects are different. So the momentum would be different, and a given force will affect earth motion 81 times less than it would on the moon. So the given force will affect earth motion 81 times less, because earth is 81 times more massive. So the force which the earth is applying on the moon is 81 times more than the moon which is applied on the earth. One reason it can be. And if second, here both of them attract each other because of the Newton's third law. As moon is rotating around the earth, so centrifugal force is balanced by the gravitational force that I have said before. There is a one centripetal force and one centrifugal force. Centripetal force is applying between the center to center of the earth and the moon, and centrifugal force move the moon in the forward direction. So both centrifugal and centripetal, that is gravitational force, balance each other. That's why both are not coming nearer to each other and they are in equilibrium. And if you think earth does not move at all, so that is wrong, because mass of the earth is 5.9 into 10 to the power 24 and the mass of the moon is 3.3 into 10 to the power 22. Because of the huge mass differences, center of mass of both them lies inside the earth's surface. That means both the earth and the moon rotate about some point, but it has negligible significance on earth. Means they have a huge masses. Center of both the masses, center of mass of both of them lies inside the earth's surface. Means if you will consider the center of the earth and if you will consider the center of the moon, both the distances lies inside the surface. This means that both earth and the moon rotate about some point, but it is negligible. They are rotating, they are moving with compared to each other, but the significance is negligible because the mass is totally different. According to Newton's second law also, you can consider mass is inversely proportional to acceleration. If the mass is much high, the acceleration would be less. So just compare, mass of the moon, earth is much higher, so the acceleration would be less, and the mass of the moon is much less than the earth, so acceleration would be more. So we can say moon, there is a comparison between the masses, and if the difference of masses is huge, the center of masses of both, अगर आप center to center मिलाते हैं, them lies inside the earth's surface. Moon just lie inside the earth's surface. This means that both earth and moon rotate about the some point. Next is, if the earth attracts an apple, Newton discovered the gravitation when he was sitting under the tree and suddenly an apple falls on him. So he comes to the conclusion that anything which falls from a height will move in the downward direction because of the gravitation. So he concluded again that if the earth attracts an apple, does the apple also attract an earth? Means if the apple is coming towards an earth, then earth should also move towards an apple. If it does, why does the earth not move towards the apple? So in this theory, we will put, according to Newton's second law of motion, that net force applied upon an object is equal to its mass times the acceleration. Means F is equals to ma. So F is equals to mass times the acceleration, means ma. According to Newton's third law, if an object apply a force to another object, the other object will receive the same force, but in opposite direction. Note that the earth mass is enormously larger than the mass of an apple. So apple mass is much less. So mass is inversely proportional to acceleration. If the mass of an apple is less, acceleration would be more. And if the mass of the earth is more, the acceleration would be negligible as compared to the apple. So given that the module of the force, effect of the force that both bodies experiment is the same, but the acceleration will be much inferior for the earth than for the apple. So you can say there would be an acceleration, but that acceleration we can't feel because of the massive structure of the earth. And if the earth is much massive, the acceleration would be much less as compared to the acceleration of the apple, because there is a huge difference of masses between the apple and the earth, and the mass is inversely proportional to acceleration. If we increase the mass, the acceleration would be least. So this is all regarding the gravitation, all your topics related to gravitation. Then we will learn further about gravitation. Till then, have a nice day and thank you everyone.